for Team Sesh. My name is Kimberly.
And my name is Maria. Welcome to our episode number
Ace.
6. How are you, Kimberly? Long time no see,
Doing
girl.
good. Happy that we're back together.
Yes,
Yes,
it's been a while.
I know, guys. We want to apologize, pero nothing. It's things in life, but we're determined now to at least once a month. So that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like our goal for this
Yes,
year.
yes. Yeah, last year we tried to be more flexible with our schedules, and at the beginning it was good, but then things will happen to each of us, unexpected things that prevented us from recording. So
Mhm.
we decided this year we're gonna be more consistent, at least do one episode a month, and we also want to focus more on like more mindful topics. So if you have any suggestions of any topics that you want us to talk about, please let us know. Us in the comments, or you can email us or reach at us at Instagram. Yes.
Instagram.
I
No,
love
yes,
that.
we definitely compared at least the first season. I don't feel like there should be like a third season because we didn't reach that amount of
Yeah.
episodes yet. So this is still technically season two, but yes, we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be more mindful topics, interesting, and
Yeah.
that it could actually reflect in other people and they could actually relate to it. So,
Mm-hmm. Of
see.
course. You guys, I have been suffering for nasal congestion since the beginning of winter. Like, yo, yo tuve un pequeño catarro, pero literal me duró como un día. It was weird. Pero desde ese día, I've been like congested in my lungs, in my chest. I've been coughing a lot. I've been coughing a lot. It's getting hard for me to breathe. At
Mm.
night, I can barely breathe. And now Carlos just told me that I barely am. I sound like a monster because I can't breathe through my nose. So I think I need to go to a doctor, you guys, so
Ooh.
he can open up my nostrils. So, Kimberly, do you want to share with our listeners what have you been up to for these past few months, or if you want to talk about like our not resolutions, but I don't know if you would like to talk about the things that we want to leave in 2023, and what at least one thing that you want to um attract for this year
Yes.
or create at least.
So I feel like last year we always try to be as organized as we can, but life always gets in the way, or we're just
Mm-hmm.
simply tired. And in my case, I started this new job and working in a contact center, guys, is not easy peasy. We might be sitting
No,
down the whole time, but it is a very stressful job. Yeah.
our mind is very
And
nonstop
now
working.
Maria could relate because she's been working in a contact center as well.
Yeah.
So it's very draining at times. So whenever I get home, it's just vegetal and just
Mm-hmm.
or go out to walk with Luke and enjoy nature a little bit. And that's it. That's all I want to do. But this year, I actually want to focus more on myself, like in goals, personal goals, and stuff like that, podcasts included, like
Mm-hmm.
being in a way, se me fue el
We're
hilo.
mindful.
Yes, like more mindful towards myself and that I could feel good of what I'm putting out there in a way. So,
Yeah,
yes.
I
You?
can definitely relate. Yes. Yeah, I think Kimberly and I mean, we both have been through different things during past year, but in essence, like we both understand each other when we are feel tired or drained. I mean, last year I changed jobs to a contact center, so I'm getting the experience of working at home, and that's something that has been I don't want to say affecting me, but I have been learning how to adapt because I've this is my first time ever working remote at my house, and even though it's something that I always wanted to have, like the flexibility of being at home and not worrying about traffic jams and getting ready early to leave, which is
Mhm.
honestly a blessing and I appreciate it every day. But at the same time, you have this downside that you're always at your house. And there is like not a separation of this is my home, this is my work space. At
Mm-hmm.
least I do have my office, and thankfully we last year we installed our AC.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, I can close myself in the room, and so at least I have my own space, which is good. And which is funny because I originally wanted to have my office, but to study or read about astrology or do the podcast. But
Mm-hmm.
now this is my office space.
Office,
This is my
office. Yeah.
work. So basically, all my yoga, my mindful practices, I tend to do it outside, either at the balcony or in the
Mm-hmm.
living room, because I want to mentally be like, no, this is my workspace, even though I like to put it, cute and everything, but this is work. And I need to know, like, if I want to do something not work related, I need to be outside. And that also involves going out more, if they're going, to the movies or just going out doing daily walks or some stuff like that. So yeah, at least for me, for 2024, I do want to be more active. I want to move my body more. I want to, be more. I don't want to say like losing weight and those
Mm-hmm.
cliche New Year's resolutions, but I do. Sorry, I do want to focus on being active, and that I am, even though I am at my home almost every day, I just want to feel like at least to get 30 minutes of being outside in the sun, or, having that disconnection, or not disconnection, como que esa separación de trabajo,
Mm-hmm.
casa. And yeah, and also that I'm working in the evening shift. So that's another thing that I need to change regarding my sleep schedule. And I'm actually trying. I would love to do a change of shift for this year. So hopefully it will come to me in divine timing.
Yeah.
But other than that, just like Kimberly, trying to be more disciplined with my intentions, with my
Mm-hmm.
plans. Um, you know, I don't even remember that we used to do the New Year's intention setting with the Yoga Girl
Mm-hmm.
podcast. I did it this year. And there's a part that she devised our goals for in the body theme for the three goals for the body, three goals for the mind,
Mm-hmm.
spirituality, and so on. So I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose one goal each month, which totals to 12, which is kind of like all the goals that I set myself for
Mm-hmm.
this year. And I will do one for a month. I'll do my best for at least 1 month, because and I'm pretty sure that most of you guys can relate that in New Year's you have this pressure of like, oh, I need to work on my resolutions, work on my goals for the year, and we start super fast at the beginning of the year and then we crash.
Yeah.
So at least for me, it's better to start small, step by step, and then
It's
move
more
on.
realistic though, that
Mm-hmm.
way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this actually kind of resonates with our main topic of the day. Um, if you want to share
Dun,
it,
dun, dun.
Kimberly.
So our topic for today is the pressure of doing something meaningful. So me and Maria, we actually, prior to this episode, we actually had a conversation of topics we wanted to talk about, like brainstorming. And this one really resonated with me because personal stuff, which we'll talk throughout the episode, but as well, it for me is the best topic right now because of the beginning of the year, and
Mm-hmm.
because we tend to really pressure ourselves in certain things. So that is our topic. So,
Yeah.
¿qué te hizo pensar en esto, María?
Hmm. I think what made me think of this topic, it's like I mentioned earlier, like the pressure of society and social media, that we need to be always working, hustling, grinding to become something big and to
Mm-hmm.
have our goals met and whatnot. And I and Kimberly and I have been having like numerous conversations throughout the years, and and I know that she can relate with me that ever since I was a little girl, I've never had this big vision of myself, like, oh, I want to be famous, or I want to be like this big person in society or something like that. I've never had that. And I'm saying that I've never had ambitions or goals, because I've had them. but it have never been like career oriented or money oriented. At least for me, I've always aspired for freedom, to having more time for myself, to traveling more,
Mhm.
and to have more like life experiences, like just having joy in a way.
Yeah.
And again, I'm pretty sure that people that are listening can relate that social media, society, our family members, friends, co-workers, our surroundings, they constantly remind us that, oh, you need to be like, you need to be work, like do. If you don't do something, you're like wasting your time, you're
Hmm.
wasting your life away. Rest is for the dead. I don't know if you have heard that before,
No,
but I've
yes.
heard people saying that, oh, sleep is for the dead. It's like sleep is so important. Rest is so
That happened
important.
to me. You said that quote reminded me of my first job,
Uh-huh.
at Gap. They
Oh wow, me
someone
acuerdo.
someone had called out. Used to work 5 in the morning shifts, so my cut time was like already two in the afternoon. ¿Qué pasa? The opener did not show up, so they wanted me to stay longer. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm dead as tired. I just want to go home and sleep. And I remember the time the assistant manager just gave me the dirtiest ass look and said that, oh, the sleep is for the dead. And she kept on walking. And I was like, oh, fuck. But no, I totally resonated what you said because I feel like everyone around me, especially at work too, they're all under
Mm-hmm.
20s. So they have like a different mindset than us. We've already passed that phase in a way.
Yeah.
We tend to like romanticize or fantasize this life. Like it's not bad, like for you to fantasize or imagine certain things, but it gets to the point that
Yeah.
if we don't achieve that, that's when we start getting depressed, anxiety. We put so much pressure on us, and it's like we just have to go with the flow. If it didn't happen, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't meant to be. Like we have to, rephrase that over and over again in our minds. But also in regards of like not doing enough, like we limit ourselves sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
So like it goes both ways. But I was mentioning Maria, our favorite musical in Hamilton, especially that phrase like who lives, who dies, who tells your story. So
Oh,
like Hamilton, 19 years fucking old, ya haciendo like cuanta cosa, like we start to compare ourselves with historians, celebrities, so many people
mm-hmm.
around us, and it's like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
what am I doing that's gonna make that impact or be actually meaningful? And it's hard pressure, especially now during these times where everything is in our hands, but at the same time, like we
It's
don't
out of reach.
know. Yeah.
Yes.
Sí, sí.
Girl, I think, yeah. Yo creo que es literal, social media has played such a huge role on that
Mm-hmm.
because cuando we were younger, we did have Facebook and Instagram, but it wasn't as big as it is now. Like
Yeah, it
Instagram y
was just
Facebook era,
pictures, random
ajá, y era
shit, and that was
solamente with
it.
our friends and
Mm-hmm.
family. Era como que para literalmente like keeping contact with our loved ones. Now is a marketing target. Like you're gonna see every video about somebody traveling or somebody with this cute clothes or somebody with living in this amazing house. And it's like, and I'm pretty sure like you guys have, read the articles and of how many people like they go through depression because of, all these
Mm-hmm.
expectations of what you need to do. Look at her doing this, but I'm not doing that. I'm like estoy atrás, como quien dice. So yeah, like I do know that for at least for me during the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, like, and I do know that the pandemic obviously it was a hard time for all of us, but at the same time I felt peace in a way because we just, surviving, in our
Mm-hmm.
houses, doing the best that we could with our time, no expectations, just be. And as soon as the world turned on again, for me, it has been like, oh, what do I do now?
And it's crazy that that happened 4 years ago.
I
In March, it's gonna be four
know,
years, and it feels like it's only been a
crazy.
year. Like that's how much impact that pandemic caused us that we haven't evolved out of that,
We
basically.
haven't processed it
Yeah.
yet. No. Esa es la cosa y actually me acordé de una canción de los Jonas Brothers, la de Take a Breath. Hay una parte que él dice, I think it's
People
Nick.
change and promises are
Ay, coño, ¿cuál es la parte que él dice? Como que the world keeps spinning round y
mm,
uno tiene que, mira, just take a breath. Como que la gente va a seguir evolving, things are gonna keep, moving on, pero pues uno, hay veces que you can't keep up with the whole evolution. You just gotta do your
yeah.
own thing and be centered. Y también me acuerdo de otra canción que me encanta, de Jason Mraz.
Jason Mraz.
I
Ah,
love him.
no, me enamoré más de él en Dancing with the Stars. Bailó
Ajá.
cabrón.
Ay, yo vi más que el first episode, yo no lo vi completo.
It was between him and Sochi Gomez, so I was fine that Sochi won. Pero his freestyle dance, like, le metió. Le metió.
Ay, tengo que verlo. A mí, at least las partes de él, porque
Yeah,
me
yeah.
encanta. Dice, if you're lost, dice, if you're lost, relax. Be where your feet are. Be where
Mm,
your feet are. And it's like a grounding song. It's
yeah.
like, okay, I can just be. That's it.
And other than society and anything, has anything else like because you had mentioned
Mm-hmm.
a certain podcast, certain
Oh,
someone, guess, and
yeah.
we agreed on that.
Yeah, like, obviamente esto no es para talk
Tirarlo.
shit
Yeah.
about
Mhm.
other creators, content creators, but you know that there's a lot of people that uh, they talk about mindfulness and positivity and having your purpose and whatnot. And it's like it's constantly in your freaking face, like, oh, there's a bigger purpose. Like, join this course to learn how to reach your purpose and live a purposeful life and
Mhm.
blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, but at the end of the day, it's money that they want from you. They don't care really
Mhm.
about if you're living your most purposeful life. Like, at least for me, and again, it's not shading on that person because I honestly love the content that he puts out in the world, and I have read books and done meditation with him, and it's amazing. But at least for me, it would be like Jay Shetty, for example. It's it takes a time that it's like it's too much. Like, it's too much in my face.
I feel
I just
like
need
when
a
he
break.
first started, it was like a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
But the fact que como que se quedó en lo mismo y lo mismo y lo mismo y lo mismo, it's like, okay, we get it. But in which aspects can you relate how certain things really impact us? Like we know everything means, if it's within the purpose,
Yeah.
everything that happens to us is because of a reason. We have to nourish ourselves. We have to, get out of the cycle. But at the same
Yeah.
time, what are you doing for those people that are still crawling? You get what I'm saying? That are still in that darkness. Like I've never seen examples of that certain aspect of life.
Yeah.
Only like when you're like in the bridge and like,
In the happy
yeah,
realm.
happiness. So it's like that's not reality. Like, yes, it could get to that, but the fact it's been like over and over the same, like, yes, I've been getting tiring of the same. And it's like I sometimes with certain celebrities interviews, I do decide to give them a listen, but same shit.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if my mom said this to me, but
Hmm.
it's like, who are you to preach? How do I need to live my life? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's good to have a role model that gives you the tools to look, this is what works for me. I share it with you so you can try it.
Yeah.
And if it's good, amazing. But at the end of the day, um, yo lo que pienso es que it's all about, again, money and having followers and being, at least for him or those types
Hmm.
of people, to be meaningful for their lives. Like their meaningful is sharing their knowledge with others, which is great. But at the same time, we all have different purpose. My purpose is not
Mm-hmm.
to do a red TikTok to millions of people. I don't
Yeah.
do that shit. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that I wanted to talk about in this episode. Like, what is success for you? Like, what is the meaning of success for each one of us? Because I'm super, super sure that my meaning of success is not the same as the meaning of success of Kimberly or any of you guys that are listening. So yeah, we can dive into that if you like as well.
Yeah. No, you said success and like thought about my brother because he's always listening to this intense podcast. But it's like people screaming at you, como que, like if they're in the military.
You gotta do this shit, motherfucker.
And I'm just like, what the fuck are you listening to? It's like if you want to be successful, I don't know. It was like very
You gotta
weird.
fucking
Yeah.
murder somebody.
And I'm just like, bro. But like he's very intense, he's very disciplined. But it gets to the point like I admire to see him because he has accomplished a lot of things.
Yeah,
But it's like I know I could do it, but not to that extent.
extent.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I have to take my time. I have to cope with things. I'm very feely, touchy,
Yeah,
building yourself up. Not gonna make it all boom. No, everything has to be now. Just do it. Like come yourself down.
yeah,
So for success for me, like I even thought about back in second grade, like how we pressure ourselves getting good grades, good presentations and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like I always had
Mm-hmm.
to be perfect in a
Straight
way.
A's.
And if I
Yeah,
didn't get an A, I would cry in front of the whole school. Like it was embarrassing, thinking about that
yeah.
now. But now at work, like I still want to be the top in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like para echármela ni nada. It's
Mm-hmm.
that I know I'm capable of certain things. I
Mm-hmm.
know I could do more. But at the same time, why do you keep pushing yourself to be on the top? So now that's one of my goals for 2024 as well. Cálmate. Just
Esto no es una carrera, ¿ok?
cálmate. Exactly. Tú eres la carrera del pavo.
Literal.
Just let it be. Si se te da la oportunidad, bien. Si no, chill. You're still going to get paid the same. You're still, more or less the same responsibility. So why?
Yeah.
But as far as for goals, you did have mentioned previously about career wise and stuff. Like I don't have a certain
Mm-hmm.
goal. Like, oh, I'm going to be a lawyer or no.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I want a job that pays me well, that it doesn't affect me as much, mentally, that
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to spend time with friends or family, and I could get the bills paid, as long as I could accomplish all that, that for me is
That's good.
a successful life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I can also relate to you with, getting straight A's in school because, we both studied in San
Mm-hmm.
Francisco y eso era, you need to be an honor student. If you're not in the honor roll, you suck. En otras palabras.
Yeah.
Y I know I did have that pressure, but at the same time, maybe it was my higher self at work y yo ni sabía, pero yo me acuerdo que yo cuando estaba estudiando, si ya eran las 11 de la noche, 12 de la madrugada, y yo todavía no había terminado, ¿sabes qué? Aquí terminé. Lo que no aprendí, no me lo voy a aprender en 2 o 3 horas, así que I'm gonna sleep. Yo cerraba el libro y me iba a acostar. Y recé papá Dios que pueda pasar el examen. Pero either way, even though I had that, like, no, you need sleep. Like, yo era bien, con eso yo no jugaba con mi sueño. Y todavía I don't play with my sleep schedule, girl. I need my 8 hours of sleep, girl.
I wish I could be the same. Yo me hacía café hasta las 3 de la mañana. Until this day, I'd always go 1 in the morning, sometimes 2 in the morning to sleep. Para
Yeah.
levantarme a las 6:30, mi gente. And I don't know how I function. I do drink 1 or 2 Red Bulls per day to survive.
Yeah.
Pero si mis días libres, it's like, that's when I get my 8 hours.
Exacto.
Yeah.
Pero igual, like, yo nunca tuve esa visión de que "Ay, yo quiero hacer esto, quiero hacer lo otro". Yo sí me acuerdo que I feel like I don't want to work the same thing that people are, like
Mm-hmm.
doctors or this amazing careers. I just don't want to do that. That's why the hotel industry appealed to me that much because it's
Mm-hmm.
like different industry. It's more I don't want to say easy because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Customer service,
No
but
job is easy. It's not until like your hands on there, like, oh shit.
I
Like,
learned
mm-hmm.
so much, honestly, and I don't ever regret studying what I study.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it actually made me realize the importance of networking, having good relationships with your coworkers, your managers, even your clients, because they are basically your clients are the people that give you the best review ever. And if
Mm-hmm.
you do a great customer service experience, you're good,
Yeah.
you know? And but yeah, como Kimberly dijo, like my meaning of success have changed through the years. Um, money was very important for me, the money factor, but now it's like it is still important, but for me, more than money is like having a work-life balance, like having time for myself, time for my family, and also to learn new things. Because I don't want to be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I work at this service center and that's it. I don't do nothing else. Like I want to engage in my hobbies, like do things that fulfill. I think I also regarding this, I told Kimberly like my job does not define me. Like my job is literally my breadwinner. It's like
Mm-hmm.
how I earn money to pay my bills, get food on the table, and hopefully save for the future. But it's not define me. It's not like, oh, I think I heard this on the podcast of Trevor Noah. Have
Oh.
you heard his
Yeah,
podcast? Me
yeah.
encanta Trevor Noah. I love him. But I heard a podcast, I don't remember which episode, he talks about that in the United States, people, they're like, oh, and tell me about you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a doctor, or well, I work at this company. And it's like, but tell me about you. Tell me who you are. What do you like to do? What are your hobbies or whatever? And in his culture, because he's from Africa, it's the opposite. Like, tell me about you. And they tell you about their life or about what they like to do, whatever it is. And
Mm-hmm.
career is like something separate, you know? And yeah, that stuck with me because
Mm-hmm.
since we are part of the United States, that corporate career
Mm-hmm.
being very productive is very ingrained in our culture as well. And yeah, like I miss that connection with just, but what about what I like to do? what are,
Mm-hmm.
or the things that I want to experience, people that I want to be with, and this kind of stuff.
Yeah. No.
Iba a decir algo.
Yeah. It was when you said about the whole career thing. So tell me how for New Year's Eve,
Uh-huh.
because we usually spend it either in home with our neighbors, but our neighbors actually went to Oregon to visit their granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just me, my brother, and my mom. So my brother's girlfriend decided to invite us to her family side. Yo soy everyone that knows me. When it's like to meet new people or new
Yeah.
setting, I'm immediately, eh.
Te vas en tu shell.
Yeah. I was like, no, ¿por qué? And I'm glad they pushed me. But at the same time, as soon as I got there, the first question, what do you do? Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, how do I impress these? Like, it's crazy. Whenever you meet a first person, like first actual meeting, you just want to
Yeah.
impress them. So it was more like, oh, I make letters. I do send emails for the members in the credit union. Blah, blah, blah. En ningún momento salió de mi boca contact center. Like, I don't know why I decided to.
Avoid it.
Yes. And as soon as I said that, they started talking about me Roth IRAs and stuff like really detailed in the credit union. Like I knew the basic stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I was like, it's not my department. So realmente no te
I
puedo.
could transfer you to that department if you like.
Exactly, exactly. But así tenerlo en personas, I was like, fuck. Pero en ningún momento, that's what like kind of like me. They
Yeah.
never asked me what are my hobbies, what are my passions, cosas así. I could have talked to into the conversation, but I didn't feel like they were interested at the time. So I was just like, yeah. Después me quedé callada.
You know what? Maybe
Mhm.
esto es algo que we can both do como un challenge. Like, next time somebody asks us, ay, cuéntame qué tú haces, a qué te dedicas.
Mhm.
Decirle, pues mira, me encanta bailar, o me encanta pintar, me encanta ver películas. Como que a ver su reacción. Porque
Yeah.
yo creo que esto es bien cultural. It's not like, I'm pretty sure they're not like
But I bet
interested.
if we say that, no, but what do you do? Like, as a
Ajá.
job, and I'd be like,
Ah. I mean,
I,
yeah,
yeah.
porque honestamente esa pregunta es like, it's small talk start, you know?
Mhm.
It's a very easy question. Ay, ¿qué hace? Cuéntame esto. Pero a la misma vez como que, what does it matter to you? Like, you know what I mean? Careers,
The like,
but
no, después empiezan, oh, so you have an OnlyFans account? That's why you're too embarrassed? And we're like,
um,
bitch, please.
I make more money than you, okay? Just kidding, just kidding.
I was also mentioning Maria, how being successful, sometimes it impacts with us women because we're always being judged no matter
Under
what.
pressure.
So we're always being pressured on that, and it reminded me of the Barbie movie. But the Barbie movie itself, no me
Me encantó.
encantó.
Yeah, me too.
Like it was just cringy and some.
Yeah, it was
I
forced.
loved I love the part where Barbie sees the old lady and she's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful." That was like, and then at the towards the end, Gloria's speech, America's Ferrera's speech, which was like, "Oh, that is the definition of what every single woman fucking goes through."
Yep.
Yes. So that being said, we actually wanted to share you that mini speech because for me it was like, oh yes, you want to start,
Yeah.
honey, boom boom.
Yes, and before we
Hmm.
start, just disclaimer that this is a
Hmm.
spoiler. So if you haven't seen
Yes.
the movie, either dale skip adelante o nos vemos el mes que viene.
Hmm.
Okidoki. So, ¿quién empieza? ¿Tú yo? ¿Tú o yo?
Dale, tú, tú.
Yo. Okay. Okay. It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart. And it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong.
Esta parte, you have to be thin, but not too thin. You can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but you also have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but always be looking out for other people.
You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane. But if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women because you're supposed to be part of the sisterhood.
But always stand out and always be grateful, but never forget that the system is rigged. So find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful.
You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard. It's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only you're doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault.
Mhm. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. And if all of that is also true for a doll just representing women, then I don't even know. Dun dun dun. It's like that scene when as soon as she said that speech, I was like, how all the other Barbies were like, oh shit, that like
Fuck.
that resonated like deep.
Sorry.
And it's so true. Like we can never be too much of anything or too little of anything. It's always going to be a comparison. It's always going to be something, and that, as a woman, has affected us as well to make certain achievements because that fear of judgment. So it's like we have to just learn to let go, just truly be ourselves, and fuck whatever anybody thinks.
Girl, yo tengo unas ganas tan cabronas que nada más seguro voy a comprar el fucking audiobook.
Ooh.
Hay un libro que Carlos lo compró para una compañera y yo, I need that shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I have that book.
You have it?
Está por ahí.
Yes.
Sí.
That's from Mark Manson.
Yes.
I want to read
It was like
that
my
fucking book.
last semester at FIU. I had to take like a psychology class. The first day, our psychology professor was like, I don't recommend any textbooks. In this class, we're just gonna chill. This is evaluating your lives. And bueno, que hubo hasta una clase, because that campus is big. And he's like, I'm gonna take you all for drinks. Whoever's 21 or older, we went out for drinks at Chili's. But he wanted for us to read that book.
Really?
Yeah, so it was like, I
Wow.
wish like every professor could be like that, like truly engraves into our minds to truly be ourselves and just like he portrayed that so well. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, yeah. But
It's
you said
like,
the audiobooks, and now I'm like intrigued. I'm like, I need to recapitular like ese
es que
mensaje.
Logish, mira, a mí me encantan los libros, I love to read, pero te soy bien sincera, para yo sacar un tiempo para leer, para mí es imposible. No sé por qué mi mente me hace la vida tan imposible para sacar un tiempito para leer. Tiene que ser por las mañanas o por las noches, pero de noche no tengo un
Mm-hmm.
fucking nightstand para tener luz, whatever, soy excusa. La cosa es que quiero intentar el trial de Audible.
I only did
Que
it, but you should get a Spotify then. Buy eso, like
es
your
que
own.
Carlos lo tiene, pero es on his account, on his cell phone.
But how much would it be Spotify by itself for you instead of because Audible I think is 15, si no me
It's
equivoco.
like $18 con los taxes.
So Spotify for me is only $12.
I'll
So
think
you'll be
about it.
getting your
Pero
own profile.
Spotify tiene todos los audiobooks.
Tiene
Todo.
un cojón, cojón.
Voy a pensarlo.
Because I used to have Audible, but it was because Buffy the Vampire Slayer released a
Yeah.
continuation, but it was
Mm,
exclusively in Audible. So I was like,
yeah.
pero menos mal, they give you like, the only thing about Audible, they give you free credits that you could purchase one audiobook for
One
free, but
book.
then the one is like part of the membership, you would have to rebuy them. So that's the other disadvantage. So Spotify is
Mm,
like limitado and you can listen whatever the fuck you want.
yeah. Pues nada, Alice, lo que sí
Mhm.
quiero es escuchar más audiobooks, porque escucho muchos podcasts y quiero aprovechar, pues ya que escucho podcasts, pues dejar también escuchar los libros.
Mhm.
Tengo el de Britney, tengo el de, el de Nickelodeon, la muchacha de
I
iCarly.
just finished that one. Shouldn't be recording.
Ah, pues tengo para leerlo, escucharlo
Uf,
también.
esa está.
Juicy,
Yeah. It's one
juicy.
of those stories que tú te queda like she grew up with us this whole time and I had no fucking idea. Like you could have never tell what was going behind the scenes. And it's very but I'm glad, she's getting help. She's, portraying her story and hopefully
Yeah,
she could become even more successful. Yes.
and she will be,
Yes.
porque ese comeback fue cabrón, cabrón. Y otra cosa, y sorry que nos me fui para la tangente de
No.
Nickelodeon, pero los otros días, Carlos y yo, no sé por qué vimos un YouTube video
Mhm.
que estaba hablando sobre Nickelodeon, like the dark behind the scenes stuff. Y no sé si tú te has dado cuenta, pero en cada show de Nickelodeon, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Sam and Cat, creo que The Amanda Show, I think all of them, honestly. Había algún episodio que salía algo con los pies. Like, something was done with feet. Either they put their... No, hombre, espérate. Did I mention that there's a ghost in my house? Yes.
What's the name of this ghost?
Pues no sé todavía. I haven't met him yet. I
Oh, but it's a
think so.
him. It's
Yeah, I think he's a him. Yes. Like, los otros días que fue, the first time fue, estaba en el cuarto, y entonces el cuarto de nosotros tiene unas ventanas que dan hacia la salita.
Mhm.
Y pues, esa noche yo, Alice, te lo juro que that's what I saw. No sé, vi, estaba soñando que, pero se ven las luces que están prendidas, que las dejé prendidas. Y de momento yo estoy jugando en el Switch y yo veo que se apagaron las luces. Y Carlos estaba al lado mío. Y yo,
Dun, dun,
"Claro, sí".
dun.
But
You
the
guys
other...
know Barry, supernatural fan, buff me on that shit. Get some salt, honey.
Girl,
Salt.
I got my how you say, my
Okay.
sage, my palo santo. I'm ready, girl. I'm ready.
Okay. Okay.
No, pero I don't feel scary nada.
No, I
No,
know,
porque
pero just in case.
se me prende el Xbox solo de la nada. Y lo más reciente, que eso estuvo bien fucked up. Y yo dije, Carlos, there's a ghost in here, like, there's no doubt. Yo tengo ahora mismo en la pared de la computadora, tengo un calendario.
Mhm.
Y ahí yo pongo notitas, fotos, y pues cuando yo estoy sacando un Daily Tarot card, pues yo saco mi
Mhm.
tarjeta, la carta y la pongo you
Mhm.
know, pilla. Y te lo juro, yo estaba leyendo un libro que de hecho del tarot, just to learn to
Mhm.
the meanings and whatnot. Y te lo juro, from the corner of my eye, I see the card levitating. De la
Mhm.
nada, se fue volando, dio vuelta ¡pum! Y cayó en el piso.
Oh my
Y yo
god.
estaba así como que, ok, cerré el libro, ¡pum! Lo dejé en una esquinita y seguí trabajando como si nada. But it was weird,
Uy.
very weird.
Mm.
But anyway, Drake and Josh, lo de Nickelodeon. Pues sí, loca, ¿cómo se llama?
Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider, whatever.
So in this girl's book, she never mentions his name, but she says the creator. So we already know. I
He's
hate
so
him.
creepy.
I hate his ass. After listening to her audiobook, yo.
Ay, no. Pero la cosa es que con Alice, las cosas que yo veía, es like a fetish con feet que él tenía, pero no in a sexual way, but still, they're kids. It's weird, you know?
Exactly. And what bothered me is the most how the network, if these rumors have been going on for so fucking long, that
Mhm.
nobody decided to investigate these sets, how he would actually engage with the actors, being known that they're children actors, like that he got away with a lot of shit, basically.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure
yeah.
he's not the only one either.
I don't know.
So I'm just like, bro, the society we live in. Men, fucking men, they get away with
Men,
everything. Okay, yeah. I mean,
disculpe, ¿quién es el culpable del patriarcado? That part, I hated that part, de verdad. La parte de Ken con que descubrió los cabroids.
uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, this is so
Come the
stupid.
fuck down. Like,
Yeah, like, we get it. Don't just, I don't need the part patriarchy in my face.
not for real. Pero no, así de books, because I always buy books, I read them halfway y lo paro.
También me
Pero
pasa.
yo me dediqué este año, because Reese Witherspoon, she has like her own book club, Reese's book club.
Yes.
So my goal is to read her pick of the month. So at least ya terminé el de enero, which was First Light Wins. Este de aquí.
Ooh,
I like it.
nice.
It was like thriller, suspense, and shit. So that's
Te
gonna be my
te
goal.
tengo uno.
Dime. Me
Déjame
pasa, me
buscarlo
pasa.
rapidito.
Dale.
Pues hay un libro que estaba en el book club de Reese Witherspoon y es fantasía, es romántico. One Day in December. Mira, I don't know if you can see it. Y
Okay.
es de Reese Witherspoon Book Club. It's so cute. De verdad que este libro, si te gustan los romances, así como que bien cheesy, pero
Mándame un screenshot,
hearts,
mamá.
dale, te lo voy a enviar. Este libro, I think you're gonna like it, porque es de esta muchacha ella ve a este muchacho, eh, pero es como un glance, como si
Okay.
fuera qué sé yo, tuvieron una interacción súper mínima y después no se volvieron a ver en 10 años. Y de momento resulta, un
Mm-hmm.
spin-off, como que, wow, what happened here? No me esperaba esto. Y es literalmente cómo su historia va creciendo throughout
Mm-hmm.
the years.
Mm-hmm.
Y pues al final, pues I can't say. It's like a friend,
Yeah.
¿qué te digo? De estas amistades entre, ¿verdad?
Mm-hmm.
Hombre, mujer, o whatever, pero el libro de este muchacho, que they secretly like each other because they had that interaction, but they never did
Yeah.
anything about it. So, due to circumstances, they have to become friends, and how it like they have to be like whatever, son panas, pero they don't address it. Como que they know, but they don't do
Mm-hmm.
shit about it until something happens, and I don't say. Pero es bien chula, es bien linda,
Pues
bien chula.
esta, o sea, yo ni leí ni el intro ni nada, que usualmente yo, a ver, no. Yo la
Ujú.
compré y al mambo, yo empecé a leerla and I was like, the fuck am I reading? Y después, como after the third chapter, I was like, what just fucking happened? Because apparently ella se está haciendo pasar por otra persona, but we don't know that till chapter 3, because somebody confronts her and says her name, and then she freaks the hell out. She just goes to the bathroom, like, but that's my real name. And I was like, wait, what? So that's when we realized she's like working for someone que se hace pasar por otras personas to get information to certain like gangs y todo
Oh.
eso, como que spy stuff. But then she's like falling in love with the guy, and I'm like, fun.
Juicy.
Yeah, juicy.
Ah, pues sí.
Mm-hmm.
But that's so good, de verdad, que estemos las dos ahí buscando nuevos libros. Because I really love self-help books, que sí, libros de
Mm-hmm.
astrología, que I like them. Pero a la misma vez me gusta de vez en cuando leer un libro que sea una fantasía y que yo me vaya en un
Yeah.
viaje. So, yes. También hay otro, pero yo creo que yo lo compré. I don't know where I had it. Pero es algo de When in Paris, algo así, algo de París. Y
Creo que lo guardé, que tú me lo mandaste una vez también.
yo creo que sí, que yo te envío un screenshot.
Paris is always a good idea. Mira, lo tengo guardado.
Ese mismo, Paris, ese mismo. Ese sí lo tengo en físico. Ese es bien funny. Es romance, but it's funny. Y igual me gustan mucho los libros que son así que viajan a otros
Mm-hmm.
países, que there's like a romance abroad, no that shit.
Yeah,
So, but
nice.
yes, do you
Nos
want to talk about
fuimos
something else?
sideways, pero now our book reveal, y'all. Esto no pasa.
Esto es un section, our
Yeah.
book club with Kimberly
Yeah.
and Maria. Do you want to talk about something else o algo más que se nos quedó?
I feel like we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Except that yeah, I feel like this year you and I agreed we didn't do a resolution list. It's just
Oh
like
yeah.
an intention, our intentions for this year, and that's
Yeah.
it. Because we didn't want to add our a pressure
We don't want to
ourselves
pressure.
if we didn't accomplish that resolution or that goal.
Yeah.
So that's
I also wanted to mention regarding that at
mm-hmm,
least I don't know if it's like a panic attack or what, pero me está pasando
mm-hmm,
últimamente. It happened a lot to me last year. Y este año me pasó ya una vez, pero I'm working through it.
mm-hmm,
Y tiene que ver con los expectations, que llega un punto que, por ejemplo, last year mi goal era enfocarme en astrology to be like learn, read, practicar un cojón y hacer mi blog y whatnot. Y hay una parte de mí que decía, you're never gonna do this, like, there's no way in
mm-hmm.
hell que tú vas a poder hacer esto porque hay un cojón de gente que saben más que tú y han tardado un cojón de años en aplicarlo y launch themselves or whatever. Y yo estaba como que, ok, yo sé que esto es negatividad,
Mm-hmm.
self-negativity going in, pero I need to be realistic porque yo tampoco puedo push myself to reach a goal that I know I need time.
Mhm.
Y hay muchas veces que I'm pretty sure you can relate o anybody que nos está escuchando que nos ponemos un deadline. Si para esta fecha yo no tengo esto, I failed. Y si yo no hago esto para tal día, pues ya me jodí, no puedo hacer más nada. Y me ha pasado que when those thoughts come in, I don't know if it's my body or my mind, que it tries to protect me or something,
Mhm.
que I just go numb, like
Mhm.
numb. I don't think, I don't feel. Es un sentimiento como que me siento aburrida. It's like that bored feeling, but at the same
Mhm.
time no tengo ganas de hacer ni nada. Like, literalmente
Yeah.
no. Y me pasó recientemente, ¿verdad? You know, I'm not gonna go into details, pero
Mhm.
tiene que ver with the fact that I'm still living in a renting apartment, que I don't have a family yet, que no soy mamá, que I don't haven't bought a house yet. Y I spoke with Carlos, which is my boyfriend, and I told him, yeah, this is what happened to me. These are my fears and this is why I was numb for this day.
Mhm.
And like I talked to him because I'm like, okay, yo sé que esto me está pasando, pero it's not me. Like, yo estoy consciente que things will come to me in time. Y sí, está la presión de que hay mucha gente around me that are having kids, que they already have their shit together, pero even though sí, tengo 31, como que si esa es mi meta ser mamá, pues tendría que ya ir encaminándome a tener ciertas cosas en orden, whatnot. Pero es como que, coño, pero es que mis circunstancias son diferentes. Maybe they had, you know,
Mhm.
esta pareja pues tuvo una buena carrera o whatever it was, tuvieron ayuda de sus papás, que, you know, they helped them out with money o lo que sea. Y yo digo, mira, yo sé que a mí me encantaría ser mamá con Carlos. Like, we've talked about it
Mhm.
and we would like to have kids. At least one kid. Not plural. Pero yo le dije, at least I need to have my home. I want to buy a house. Like, no quiero estar preñada y no tener un hogar seguro para el baby.
Mhm.
Eh, que obviamente pues los dos hablamos y ya vamos, o sea, we actually made a plan, like, ok, vamos entonces a ahorrar, a bajar los gastos innecesarios, to be able to save money y empezar maybe next year to buy a house, because es otra cosa que yo dije, yo sé que para yo ahorrar lo que yo necesito para comprar una casa, I need a year, at least a year, to just save.
Mhm.
Y estaba en esta mierda desde hace años. Y shit happens que tengo que usar el ahorro, emergencia. So it's like un constant flow of shit. Pero yo creo que el punto que yo me bloqueé era, like, bitch, siempre hay algo que te va a bloquear. Siempre there's always un obstáculo cuando lo vas a hacer. Ahí es cuando yo me bloquea. Como que espérate,
Mhm.
si no hago nada, pues me jodí. Pero es que no puedo hacer nada porque es que no puedo, no tengo chavo, no tengo. O sea, fue una cosa loca y ya me ha pasado 2 veces. Y I made ¿cómo se llama? Una cita, una psicóloga, a otra psicóloga. Because I want to talk about this shit y I also want to know if I have ADHD. Because I do know some symptoms of ADHD. It's
Mhm.
overthinking, este, anxiety, depression también. So I just want to know where I'm at mentally y no estar constantemente judging me because I'm not doing enough. Because hay veces que I judge myself of being too much of a procrastinator or like chilling too much. Pero yo misma me digo, pendeja, yo tengo que darme está malo. Mira, loca.
Mhm.
Like, you chose today to chill. Como que descansar. Disfruta el día, mañana es otro día y le metemos a lo que sea. So if anybody that's listening knows what I'm talking what I'm talking about, let me know what you guys, if you have any consejo or your experiences, if you feel the same. There's so much pressure of do this, do that, y si no haces nada, pues estás como que atrás. Pero I honestly want to let go of that mindset because it's not healthy. It's
Yeah.
really not healthy.
Pero dijiste eso and I was like, I'm a step behind you, nigga, and I'm older than you. Porque yo todavía no tengo my own place. No
Yeah.
tengo pareja. So it's like, when is all that shit ever gonna happen?
Perdón.
Or is it ever gonna happen? Como que también, I do get those breakdowns all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Pero I cannot think it's just gonna be like my permanent way of life or whatever. And as it is, it's because it's meant to be. Porque si no, me vuelvo en un hoyo and forget it. It's like you're never
Exacto.
gonna accomplish anything with just be living in
Sí
fear.
que te quedas stuck en tu situación actual. Y tú
Exacto.
piensas que this is gonna be your life forever. Y como que
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm going through this now, pero I'm pretty sure que in the future I'll be able to reach whatever I want to do or have. Y eso es otra cosa que I'm very glad that I practiced it cuando empecé con los mindfulness
Mm-hmm.
y hacer mis intention settings. Es que tú le pides al universo lo que tú quieres, pero tú no le vas a pedir cómo.
Exacto.
Cómo es cómo y cuándo quiera el universo darte lo que
Exacto.
tú necesitas. But it's very important that you put out in the world or in the universe or whatever you believe in, lo que tú quieres atraer. Y no lo digo nada más para manifestate it. Lo digo
Mm-hmm.
más bien para que esté presente en tu mente. Because it happens to me que si yo no lo estoy constantemente viéndolo o reading it somewhere, I forget
Mm-hmm.
about it. Y no es porque yo quiera, es que mi mente es fast. Y I'm always overthinking about other stuff que se me olvida lo que realmente importa, you know? So that's otra cosa que también quisiera hablar with the psycho.
Mm-hmm. But thank you for sharing. I
Of
feel
course.
like a lot of people, they do go through their mini panic attacks. Like
Yeah.
we create our timelines within ourselves. Pero
Mm-hmm.
también hay que valorar and really know that these times are not what past people have been living or our parents have been living. In order to have everything of our own, we need at least 3 to 4 jobs. Like it's
Ya,
getting
nena.
ridiculous to that point. And that's why I'm just like going day by day. Hopefully something will
Mm-hmm.
change because I'm not gonna exhaust myself. Like if I
Yeah.
really truly want something, then yes, I'm gonna work my ass off. But
Mm-hmm.
not to the point that I'm gonna kill myself so I could
Yeah.
accomplish these goals. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y rapidito, que sé que nos tenemos que ir ya mismo. Yo me fallé, que me
Mm-hmm.
salió en YouTube, creo que fue un short
Mm-hmm.
o en TikTok, de la realidad de los millennials, que somos nosotras,
Mm-hmm.
en cuestión de los mortgages. En los Estados Unidos, I know, Puerto Rico está la cosa fea, pero en Estados Unidos está peor.
Yeah.
Like, houses are
Yeah.
super mega expensive. Y entonces, para resumir, el muchacho lo que estaba diciendo era que, on average, para que un millennial pueda comprar una casa, tiene que tener al menos un trabajo que te pague mínimo 100,000 pesos al año
Lovey.
y no puedes tener deuda, no puedes tener, like, no puedes tener car payments, like, you need to just pay your
Mm-hmm.
house, no puedes tener nada de deuda. Y digo, eso es tan irreal. Like, dime quién no tiene deuda en este tiempo. Y más en los Estados Unidos. Que they constantly are bombarding you, like, get a credit card, get a
Yeah.
fucking credit card. Y like, y no quiero sonar, ¿cómo se llama? No depressed, pero como que a downer or anything like that.
Girl,
Pero
is
it's
being
a reality,
realistic.
puñeta. Es como que puñeta, nosotros en nuestra infancia nos vendían este sueño, ay, mira, tú trabajas, te compras tu casita, tienes tu familia y tú la madre, which is, yes, important, pero a la misma vez, like, estas circunstancias que están viviendo no es lo mismo que
Mm-hmm.
our parents were living through. Y again, not saying que they didn't have it easy, porque they also had their shit, pero las cosas han cambiado, a todos más caros, los sueldos siguen bajitos, y yo estoy consciente que si Carlos y yo decidimos tener un bebé, our finances are gonna be changed. Tenemos que cambiar nuestras prioridades, our routines. Pero at least for me, si yo lo hago, sería más bien para dejar una legacía, para que la familia siga creciendo. Because that's at least why that desire of having a kid has been growing on me, is to have that legacy, you know, go on. Como dice Hamilton, who lives, who dies, who tells your story. Oh, Hamilton.
Sí.
Que, by the way, what's a great segue.
Ajá. Como que empezamos. Conclusión.
Full circle moments.
No, te entiendo,
Ay.
te entiendo. Pero aquí mismo actualmente, una renta mínimo, una renta mínimo, 3,000.
Oh, fuck no,
Mínimo.
girl.
¿Qué me he visto así? Yo creo que me voy para atrás para PR, nada más por ese aspecto nada más.
Vente para acá, hombre, vamos a
Porque
aparecer
everything
aquí.
else, I'm just like, bruh, no hay quien
Sabes que
sobreviva.
no eres la única que
Ujú.
me dice, Acho, tengo una ganas de just go back to PR, como que quiero regresar a PR. Y yo te tengo que
Yeah.
decir, mira, yo te entiendo porque en PR están las cosas jodidas y like, no hay casi médico, los hospitales están jodidos, todo está caro, the quality of life is getting affected a little bit,
Ujú.
pero a la misma vez tú puedes manejar, you know, you can live. Tú puedes bregar con el dinero, puedes jugar, pero Estados Unidos es como que, you better work. Ahí sí como
He
que,
visto los TikToks, la gente viviendo en sus carros y eso. And it's like, bro, la veo así, sí, sigo aquí because,
exacto, pero
yo,
es real, es real.
yeah.
Y, y sabrá Dios por eso es que we have this culture of hustle, 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 because we need
Mhm.
that money to have a good life, which again is good. Not saying that it's bad, pero a la misma vez como que diablo. El dinero llega a un punto que es como que it's really worth it. Is it worth your well-being,
No, for real.
yeah. I hope that you guys like this episode. If you made it through the whole hour, I think it is. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, we would love to hear from you. So please give us a comment, like, subscribe, and you can reach us on our social media, which Kimberly, you know everything. Zúmbalo, tú sabes todo eso.
So podcast on Instagram 1014 Shed Podcast or through our emails 1014sesh@gmail.com or our personal Instagram, which is Kim Gorbury, GOORBARRY, and Maria.
Mia Mariah, 27. Yes. Holla.
Holla. But it was nice to catch up. Hopefully,
Yes.
we're going to do this now a little bit more often.
Yes.
And hopefully, you guys are still hanging out with us. Yay. I love yous.
Loves. I hope you guys have a great week, great month. Y nos vemos on February. No sabemos qué día,
Febrero.
pero febrero nos vemos.
Y como hacemos, chao.
Ciao.